Hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. I forget who that was that talked like that. There was an actor. I can't remember. Hello,
It's before my time, David.
you?
You sort of sneak that one in.
I'm not touching that one.
No, you don't need to.
Well, you did just have a birthday not too long ago. Oh, I wasn't supposed to bring that up.
I know. No, you're not supposed to mention that today. That was ages ago.
Right. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. And I'm just back to sort my camera out.
We've had a busy morning.
That's better.
You've taken on this whole new things, all these camera things that you're doing. What's your morning been like?
Well, the day's been hectic. We looked today at using a virtual camera on BeLive and the ways you can actually do it, because we did a poll in BeLivers and they said, we'd like to know all about the third-party apps we can use with BeLive. So as I own most of them, I decided this morning to actually record a 5-minute video on Twitch using each of the applications. So we went through, started with Manycam, which was okay. Then OBS, which was better. Then vMix, which is, of course, according to Brigetti, the Rolls Royce of systems. All going to live to BeLive and showing movies and backdrops and slideshows and all sorts of things. And then on to my favorite, of course, which is XSplit and XSplit VCam. And Brigetti was there with her eCam. So we had a competition between the two. It was a tie, which is good. And RJ gave us her thoughts on all the systems that we showed. So it was quite a technical show, but it was well received. The only thing I forgot to do was to include the link back to the show. So half our audience was on BeLive in 5, half of it was on the live video hub. But together they made a good audience, and I got through all the comments afterwards. Tomorrow I'm going to make sure that I include the link to find us. If you talking of which, if you're watching this show on the live video hub, say hello. You get a link to join David and I on David's page. If you're watching this on BeLive in 5, then say hello and you get a link to watch the show on TVSN. That I remembered. So many things to do.
Yeah, well, you do it well though, Stephen. I got to tell you.
Thank you.
You do it well, and you got us all organized and looked after. And I've been multitasking while you've been talking, but just let's talk about the 5 days live and the week that's coming up. And this is what, the third, or is this the third or fourth in the series?
It's the fourth.
Wow.
We had August, November, January, and now the March one. And today was myself, RJ and Brigetti, talking about third-party applications you can use with BeLive. Tomorrow is pre-show preparation and basically also promotion, and that's with Cheryl and with Tina. Wednesday is you, me, Brigetti, and of course we cannot forget the hostess. That's Lottie Hearn. And then Thursday is another show. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you. A reminder. That always helps this time of day. Is Linda and Brigetti, and they're talking about awesome interviews. So that should be it. Then on Friday, this is where I got my fingers crossed, because on Friday it's just me, but there is a question mark there. And I'm hoping by Friday to actually fill that question mark in as we talk about the equipment that you actually need to go live broadcasting. And just a subtle hint, if there's one person you want to talk about that, that's the person I'm hoping is going to join me. Yeah.
Well, a good lineup for the week, that's for sure.
Yep.
And people seem to be enjoying it. Well, we've done it for the fourth time, right? So
yep.
let's see. Let's say hello to some people. Hi, guys. I'm in the lobby. Yep, I know. I see you there, Alfredo. Just bear with me. We're just introing the show here. Alfredo is anxious to get on. Your camera looks great. Kelly's out there. Thanks for being here as always.
Oh, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. Oh, you mean is Kelly coming on camera soon? I don't know.
No, that's as bad as the jibes you got about chess. I don't think that's fair at all. I think people do what they want to do when they're ready to do it.
Oh boy, I know Kelly well enough. That's why I can do it.
I know.
I still think whatever. I started playing chess, or at least I did the one day. Did you see that at all? That I did that?
I caught a bit of it. Yeah.
And I did it thinking Alfredo wasn't around, but I did tag him in it, so he did get a kick out of that. And then maybe I've regretted doing that ever since. I don't know, because now he's back on it again. Well, but I'll tell you. Well, let's talk about broadcasting. Because that's part of what the show is. I've been changing things around what I've been doing with my broadcasts as far as. Specifically on Twitch.
Okay.
Father versus Son was Monday nights with my son Jason, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And that's where I kind of did the video game thing, because I was doing that with him, and it was entertaining and stuff. But then he needs time to stream. He's in the course of the college that I'm teaching, and that's what he wants to do. And so I have to be able to give him that time, because we're in the same house. We'd be both sucking way too much bandwidth at the same time, and it just wouldn't work. So we've decided to cancel Father versus Son on Monday nights on my channel. He's still going to stream, but he's going to stream on his channel.
Okay. So
he's got time for that. I'm going to be doing. I'm a talk show host. I'm not a video game player.
Right.
That's how I'm known.
Yeah.
Right. I don't get me wrong. I have some fun playing some video games, and I can throw that into the mix once in a while. But typically, I'm going to do a talk show, Twitch talk, and it will be in the mornings, 9 a.m. The goal is to, and I'm not sure when this is going to start exactly, so don't ask me that question, because I don't know.
I won't.
But I'm looking at doing 9 a.m. Mondays and Wednesday mornings on Twitch.
Okay.
Tuesday nights, I'll still do my Monday thing with you here and my afternoon show.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights, I'm going to broadcast a new show on Facebook. In the background. And then Thursdays and Fridays will be bonus streams, because they won't be every week because of scheduling. But we'll call it the bonus streams. And so that way, I'm looking at 3 days a week to get time on Twitch, because I do have a community growing there. I already have a community in Facebook land. And I just sort of said, I don't need to reinvent myself. I don't need to play video games and be that guy. I can be the talk show guy on Twitch. So it's been it's quite a thought process, and honestly, part of the process has come from teaching my class.
Right. Okay. What insights did they give you?
Well, it wasn't even so much that the class themselves gave me insight. There's been a few, but me designing the course that I'm teaching them, and I'm saying, this is what you need to do. These are things, marketing things, branding. And we just come out of marketing and branding, and they're creating one for the first time, whereas I've had one for some time, and it just got me rethinking. I sort of retaught myself as I was teaching someone else. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I mean, whenever you're teaching, you're actually learning at the same time. And in this instance, it's the spark was fired, and you made a decision to change.
Yeah. So I taught myself, and I didn't know that I was. But I knew going into this that it would be an experience.
Yeah. I mean, it's maybe a truism, but it's also, if you want to know how to do something, teach somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because whilst you're teaching them, you're reinforcing what you know, and as happened to you, you're actually sparking new ideas and refocusing. And I mean, that's the thing about live video. We can do what we want when we want. It's just a question of deciding.
Well, I think sometimes too, Stephen, as we do in our jobs, when we first get a brand new job, we are very excited. Hey, I got a job, I can pay the bills. So everybody's excited and they're all sitting up tall. And then sometimes when we do things and we keep doing them repeatedly over and over and over, we in my nice comfy chair, we start to do this. Boy, that's nice and comfortable. And then we just stay there, and we don't get up, right? And every once in a while, we gotta sit up and we gotta stand up and we gotta go. Okay, yeah, I need a refresher course, and I'm nice. I forget who said it. I read somewhere sometime. They said our advantages can become our disadvantages, and our disadvantages can become our advantages.
Wise words,
right? You know, if your rent's due tomorrow and you don't have any money, you're going to go look really hard for doing whatever you got to do. And that's when opportunity shows up.
There was a cartoon, which I saw on Facebook yesterday. Everything's on Facebook. And the cartoon said something like, okay, thank you for your help. I will like your page. And the guy said, 3,000 likes and that'll pay the rent. Well, that is... It's not true. It's not the likes that count. It's people actually paying you the money. And so that's what, as you say, that's what drives the focus. Is actually doing well at what you're good at, and we're fortunate to actually earn money from it as well. So
yeah, that's right.
That's a win-win.
Alfredo's making a lot of nice points out here. I guess I should probably bring him on. I will in a moment here, but first we'll read his stuff. He knows I'm teasing him a little bit now. I wish I could broadcast with my son, but he's still not comfortable on camera. He has to explore his interest. You know, he doesn't have to be on camera. You can be on camera if you broadcast from your Twitch and he just joins the game. He doesn't have to be seen. That's okay.
Right. Okay.
So that might be an encouraging way. I wish there was a David Burrows class in California, USA. Well, I appreciate that. I take that as a very nice compliment. And maybe there's a class coming sooner than you think.
You're going virtual, David?
Well,
see, I read the tea leaves.
I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'll put an online class together, and I need to speak to you about that and get some ideas from you. But yeah, you know, why not?
Indeed.
I've had several people ask me about it. So what else do we got? When I was laid off from my 4-year position in October, I started to look at different opportunities. Well, that's what I was referring to, Alfredo, was when you're doing something, even if you got a good job and things are working, we tend to not look elsewhere for more. We go, I'm good now. And we shouldn't. We should always keep looking. Where did I see that sign? Oh, it was in front of there's a church here in town. Churches are great for taking advantage of their billboard signs out front, at least in our town. They've all got a message on them. Right. And this one said, opportunities tend not to label themselves.
That's true.
There's no name tag that says, hi, I'm an opportunity.
No, well, you don't see an opportunity until it's gone past you. My biggest opportunity missed was when the internet started. There was a UK startup called Demon Internet. You can see how long ago this was, because they actually bought their own server to actually be on the internet, and you could rent space on the server. And they ended up 3 years later selling out for millions of dollars. And the shares that were bought at the beginning were worth quite a bit of money.
Wow.
I was just wrong place, wrong time.
I guess.
Missed it. In fact, if you Google Demon Internet, you'll see their story. Because they sold out to one of the major providers, got swallowed up. But that's how it all began. People started on the internet and they said, right, okay, how do we connect the internet? With dial-up modems, and you need a server. Yeah.
Mhm.
So these
I-
guys, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry.
No, I was just going to say I had, and I say had, he unfortunately passed a few years back. A friend of mine who, and this is going back 20. Oh man, it's catching up to me. This is going back 20 years.
Okay.
And he started a little company called Sarnet. Sarnet.
Yeah.
Sarnet.
Got it.
And he was a computer guy, a programmer, and did a bunch of stuff. And he said, I'm going to put a bunch of modems in a room, and I'm going to give people access to the internet
Yep.
on dial-up modems.
Yep.
And I said, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And to the day he died, we still joked about me saying that to him. And I'm like, boy, am I ever glad you didn't listen to me, right? But he did. And he had a room full of modems. Yeah. He had 24 lines going, and he was one of Sarnia's first internet providers. Boy, I miss this guy. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
And he, the same idea. He started doing that. And then he sold, another bigger company came along, and they said, we'll give you X number of dollars for all your customers, and we'll buy it, blah, 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 blah. And he, So
back in the day,
he always bought the chicken wings. I can tell you that. All right, let's get. More compliments won't get you on. The more compliments, I'll have a harder time getting out of the room. I just want to take a look at something Kelly put out there too. I'm trying to understand, but David, I seen on Twitch the view says 3 people, 15 with some events like pool, 85 views. But on Facebook, you get 50 people right away, not even counting the replay views. Well, that's because I'm still building a community on Twitch, right? I've built and still building, but I've built. I think that's what he meant by that, was that I have a better following on Facebook. So, all right, Alfredo's had enough of waiting. So here we go. All right. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on board, Steven. Always a pleasure, David. Thank you again for bringing me on.
Hello.
So
now I see you just said there, building a community is tough. So what do you mean by that? What's tough about it?
I think the tough part about it is, how long did it take us, for example, just between you, Steven, and David and myself, how long did it take for us to actually be on communicating on video? A year, 2 years? I mean, I think I met Steven via the Blab era. That was 2 years ago, right? And then David, we came on board with Be Live, so that was about a year. So when I meant building a community stuff, it takes almost a year to actually be on speaking terms on some of the community members you interact with. That's what I meant tough, because of the time that it takes to actually build that relationship.
Yeah, like Steven and I, we'll be coming up on, I think, 2 years in October.
Anniversary, yeah.
Doing this show, just this show. I've been streaming for 8, 9, coming up on 9 years, right?
Yeah.
Plus, my show was recorded before that, but I was still. So I mean, and some of my students, may they be watching, I don't know, they should be in class, are learning that you don't just sit down and press live, play video games, or whatever you do, talk shows, whatever. And if you want to build a community, it does take time. And part of the distraction and part of the, what is the word I'm looking for, that shuts people down and wants them to, and they get in that no quit attitude. Mm-hmm. You have to master the mundane. You've got to do tiny little things, a whole bunch of tiny little things, over and 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 over. And the problem is sometimes those tiny little things seem like they're not making any difference. But the compounded effect of doing those tiny little things over and over time, that's what gives you results. I wish I could tell you that I come up with that and wrote that, get a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Wilson.
Okay.
And that's and you can get it on PDF format if you know where to go.
Slight edge. Thanks.
Okay.
Do you agree with that, Stephen?
In essence, yeah. I mean, the situation is that building a network, an involved network, does take time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it takes a lot of time. I'm in contact with about 100 people who I connected with 13 years ago now, on a UK networking site called the Academy. It was the first of its type in the UK, and it lasted until it disappeared, unfortunately. But there was a bond built on there which has lasted 12, 13 years.
Right.
And it's totally amazing that should be. So just keep going. It's the only thing you do is keep going and get involved and helping people. And over time, that builds up. I mean, it's said in networking circles, BNI or whatever you want to choose, that you've got to get known as the go-to person. Now, that means that you've got to decide what you're going to be the go-to person for.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah, if you become the go-to person for everything, then you are effectively for nothing.
That's right.
So you've got to decide which topics you're actually going to speak on. Now, at the moment, you ask me any question at all about BeLive.tv, I'll answer it. And it's that specialization that creates awareness of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be the expert in some things, but don't be the expert at everything. You make a good point there, Stephen, where you have to decide who you're the go-to about. And here's the thing.
Okay.
How many people do this that are doing this live streaming thing, or would like to do this live streaming thing, would like to do it and make money at it? Okay. So now you've just gone from hobby to business.
Oh, okay.
And I think Stephen's probably heard me say this before. Whatever you decide to do in life, if you want it to be your living, you either treat it like a hobby or you treat it like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you make hobby money. It's something that comes in from it is free lunches or a little bit of money here, and that helps pay for covering your costs. Treat it like a business. It's a whole different mindset. I had my morning. I had meetings this morning I had to go do. I came home. I spent about a half an hour with my son before he's gone to school. And then I started watching an episode of Gotham because I haven't watched it in a while. And then I'm like, I have to get into my studio and get to work because I know I have a thing with Stephen at 12 o'clock and it's now 10:30 and I need to do this and this and I have all this stuff to do. Now there's nobody here going, you have to do it. But it's kind of like, you remember the cartoons back in the day? You got a little angel over here and you got a little devil over here. You have to decide which one you're going to listen to. And if you're treating it like a hobby, if this was just a hobby, I'd probably finish watching my episode of Gotham. I may even watch the next one before I got in the studio. But if it's a business, I got to listen to this guy over here that says you need to get to work or you're fired.
See, I'm looking at you as an example from Stephen and David. You guys are treating this as a business. I'm still learning to get it up there as a business. So yeah. I'm looking to you as examples or mentors, or hopefully I can get into your either Stephen's class or David's class, depending on availability. But I'm still learning. I'm in the learning phase of seeing it like a business.
And that's okay. Guess what? Stephen and I are still learning too.
Okay.
We might be further ahead.
Right.
Than where you're at right now, but we've both been where you're at some point. You have to start, and then everybody's been at that point. The other thing you need to have is a plan.
The plan.
If you're running a business, they tell you have a business plan. Well, you got to have a plan. What are your goals? What are all those things, right? Like, it's work, folks. And what I mean by that, it's not really work because we're having fun, but it requires effort and time. Stephen, I want to hear you.
And as you say, planning.
Yeah.
And basically going with your gut feeling. When we do a new show, we never know when it's going to succeed. If we didn't do it, though, we'd be left
Guaranteed
thinking
not.
about it. Guaranteed not. Nothing happens. So if you've got an idea, then run with it. And if it works, you carry on. If it doesn't, then you go on to the next idea. The number of ideas that don't work, nobody hears about, which is good. And they don't hear about them because it didn't work. So concentrate on the
we
shows
don't like
that
to
do
brag
work.
about our failures, right?
Well, no, you don't. You don't have times where things went wrong.
Yeah, you can still learn from your fail, right? Like, for example, the light bulb. He did it 1,000+ times. And then he figured out this is not how 1,000+ times that's not going to work. So,
you can think of yourself as one more try away from success. Because you don't know what that number is, right? Listen, everybody's always trying to, I want to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. Just start doing stuff. And but you got to have a plan to figure along the way. You can't just
when you mention
by the seat of the
plan, David. What I've been doing is I've been taking down notes in OneNote, Microsoft OneNote, and that's helped me kind of organize who the people I can help who are not online, that I can get them online. So those are the people I'm targeting, is the ones that are currently don't have that know-how to get online. So I'm targeting those folks. And I wrote in my OneNote, okay, these are the things they need to do to at least get the minimum in to have an online presence.
Right. But you have to know what it is you want to do. Like what do you want your impact to be? Steven likes to teach other people how to use BeLive and how to live stream and how to make it a part of it. Like he likes to teach that. I
think my impact is getting them started, just to get them started so that they can go through the process of learning the different tools of online software. That's basically my impact, is just to get them started.
Well, one of the great things that you can do by that is to lead by example.
Okay.
Get started. Right? That's what you. It's there's a lot of moving parts that goes on, right? And I do think though that a lot of I know I keep coming to my class, but it's a great example of I run into, we just went through marketing and all this, been branding and all this, and some of them are like, what do I got to do that for? I just want to stream video games. Well, then just go stream video games. What do you like? Like if that's what your goal is, to just go stream video games, you can do that. Just go stream video games. But if you want to make money at it and you want to treat it as a business, that's a whole different ballgame.
Totally. I mean, you go into the Twitch groups on Facebook, and the question that comes up without fail every single day is, how do I get more fans? And it's an easy question to answer, difficult to actually put it into action, but you've actually got to go and start conversations with people, and watch other people's shows and do good stuff. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that someone's slogan? Just do good stuff somewhere.
You see, that's how pervasive it is. Joel.com is everywhere. You can't get away from him.
Yeah, do good stuff. I love it. And you make another good point in there, Stephen, is start conversations. It's interesting, I told my college students this at the start of the year, and now I've got my high school students that have just started. And the thing I said to both of them, I says, there's going to be 2 words that you're going to be sick and tired of hearing from me, but they will be 2 of the most important words in any success of whatever it is you're doing. Here's the 2 words: relationships and impact. Impact and relationships are the 2 things that you need to build a community. You have relationships. You can start you can have a relationship with somebody in 5 seconds. If you're sitting beside them on a park bench or waiting at the bus stop, if you sit down beside somebody and you don't even say a word, but you look at them and smile, you just started a relationship with that person. especially if they're at that bus stop every single day. Impact and relationships. That's what builds communities. And the problem with impact and relationships is it takes
Time.
time.
Routine.
Right?
Routine.
And we are not patient people.
Right. It takes persistence as well. I mean, we do this show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's always been that way. It'll always be that way. People know where to find us. It's consistency as well. And if you're going to share knowledge, then basically, like we do with 5 Days Live this week, 5 Days Live went to Believers and said, what would you like to learn about? And people stepped up and said, we'd like to learn about third-party. Well, one person stepped up and said, I'd like to know about third-party apps for Believe. And he added it as an option on the poll. And he stood there, I can see him. And we did the show this afternoon on that very topic. And it was led by what you posted in Believers. So I went through my sins. I went through Manycam, OBS, vMix, and XSplit.
You went through those apps?
I went through 4 apps. I did recordings of each to Twitch, downloaded the recordings, played them during the show so that people could see what Manycam, OBS, vMix, and Twitch, vMix and XSplit actually look like when they're brought through onto a BeLive show. And I showed you how to actually bring the virtual camera in from vMix and XSplit and the rest. And therefore, the topic was chosen by our viewers. We reacted to that and put the knowledge together, and we put out the show. Now, the same is true of other shows during the week, in that they've come from the results of a poll in Believers. So we're being led this time, not just by our gut feeling, but by actual people. And we had to rejig things, but it means that we've got 5 shows this week that people want to watch, which is good. And the first show was off to a good start. I always say a good show is where you've got over 300 minutes watched, and we achieved that today. And that's the target, 300 minutes for each show. And I'm happy, and most of the shows double that. So,
and that's
all good.
That's a good goal to have, and I think that's probably a goal that people don't think about. You know, I think people think, oh, I want at least 10 concurrent viewers, and that's a goal to have too. But it's the time watched is really important, you know, and it speaks to the effectiveness of your broadcast.
That's right.
I'd sooner have 300 minutes of 10 people that watched than 150 views of 3 seconds.
Yeah, because you can't get brand recognition in 3 seconds. They can't get an idea of what you're actually about by just having a 3-second snippet. It's far better if we can involve people in actually watching us, and that all comes down to being interesting, which we try. We try to be interesting.
Having an impact on people. Having an impact by teaching them something or whatever they are trying to. If they're there for a reason, they made a conscious choice to come and watch you. And now you got them. You have about 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Keep them interested.
Which means that you've got to keep every 15 seconds interesting, because you don't know when people are going to come in. Yeah. So that's why I love doing shows, these shows, because we can play off each other and the tempo doesn't stop. Whereas if you're doing a show on your own, you only need a moment where you sort of not totally concentrating and you lose it. Whereas with two of you, you're looking after each other as well, and the show just continues.
An old friend from public school the other day, and she said, "Oh, it was actually at the college I ran into her." And I said, "Oh, how are you?" She says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm teaching." "Oh, what are you teaching?" I said, "Well, I'm teaching live streaming." She goes, "Really?" She goes, "Don't you just like press the live button?"
Not if you want impact, you don't.
Just,
Yeah,
I'm like,
realize
you know what?
just
I
going
said,
live.
well, that's why you should take my class, because you don't know. There's more to it than that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is just we all have areas of expertise, and you've got to choose one of those areas of expertise and just run with it. And if you ask me what is possible from where you are at the moment is decide to go live at a time every day that suits you, and go live every day of the week, and then pick the best 2 days and then do those 2 days every week thereafter, and just talk to people about things that matter to you and share your expertise. Yeah. Going live when you feel like it doesn't work. We know people who do that. I'm not mentioning any names at all. I hope they're not in the audience. If you go live, if you go live at a regular time, find the right time and then go live twice a week. People get to know that you're there, and you don't know what's going to happen from that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's watching, you don't know who their friends are, you don't know what's going to happen. But you are doing something positive, and you're spending 2 hours a week actually making a name for yourself on Facebook or Twitch or wherever you want to be.
Yeah. And consistency, even if it's only 1 day a week, then it's 1 day a week, whatever that is. I've had moments where, I've needed to do something else or want to do something else. And I said to Jennifer, I was like, no, I can't. I have, like we're making some plans to do some other stuff. And she's like, well, it's a Monday. And I said, I got to do she goes, oh, I sort of responded by going, but honey, I have my show. And she's like, no, I know that. She goes, I'm just thinking, could you do your show from the hotel room? Like while I'm out shopping or something, just for 1 hour. I go, oh yeah. And she goes, okay. We just need to make sure you got to have good internet, right? Like, see, she knows that that is what I do at this time on this day. Just like she goes to her job from this time to this time. This is where I'm at now. The other stuff that I do surrounding going live is sporadic and different, but it's treated like a business, and it's like. And sometimes I have to pre-record it and make it look live. That's okay, but it gets done.
You've got to be there. You've got to be persistent. I mean, Peter's just made a point. It's frustrating when you get low viewers live.
Yeah, but it depends on the time of day, because depending on the time of day, the viewers are able to watch him live. I mean, that's moving target. If it's between certain times of day, there's more viewers. That's a key point to go live, and it's just a matter of luck. But
you put time into, you put some thought into what time of day, and I can go back to when I was making the decision, and I'm sure Steven will remember this, to take my show from recorded to live. What time of day was I going to do it? Now, my local community show, my local audience said 7 o'clock would be great at night. But I wanted to broaden beyond my local. So the local maybe isn't watching live. They'll watch the recorded version, as they always have. Robert Stern said to me, he says, you go live when it works best for you, and they'll show up. Maybe, there's reasons why I chose 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern. It's so that it's not too late for Steven, because that's part of my world that's an audience in it. So I put some thought into it, but stop worrying about the views. Focus on what you're trying to achieve, then the right people, and be consistent about it. Absolutely consistent. That's another huge one, Steven.
For a show to be worthwhile, well, the most worthwhile shows are when you meet somebody new, or somebody actually does something as a result of your broadcast. Yeah. Now, I know that the broadcast this afternoon, I'm not going to mention names here because it would be unfair, but straight after the show, somebody joined the Ecamm Live group. And they joined the Ecamm Live group because they watched the show about green screens and Brigetti and Ecamm, and that's a result. And that's just one person. That's all it takes for a show to be worthwhile. And it's a cumulative effect as well. Do this often enough and people start to notice you. And it works. It works. As we've been doing this for quite a while, coming up on our 2nd anniversary this year. How can we celebrate? But you've just got to keep going. It doesn't matter how many views you get. You've got to go live at the same time, same day. And that's where there's no magic in it. The best times to go live. Right. Okay. I'm going to give them to you. 10 a.m. Eastern and anything between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern are your best times to go live. Because you're reaching, as David said earlier, you're actually reaching a European audience. You're reaching an American and Canadian audience, obviously. But you're also, in that time scale, also going to hit Australia as well. So, you know, just do it between 10 and 3 if you can.
Yeah, well, and that was one of my reasons, pardon me, so like I'm catching the tail end of that timing at 3:30 to 4:30,
Yeah,
right? One of the other reasons too is that I have local people from local agencies on the show, and they're typically, when they're joining me from their workplace.
Right. Yeah.
And so if it's 7 o'clock at night, they're like, yeah, I'm 7 o'clock at night. I'm not, most of them anyway are going, yeah, I'm not coming on a show when I'm not at work. It's my off time.
Yeah.
And some things like, you know, police and fire and stuff, that's when they're available. So that was another factor in deciding that. Now on my Twitch show, when I go live at 9 a.m., it'll be 9 till noon. So here's the thing, Stephen, on Mondays, 9 till noon, it'll be 9 till 11:55, and then I'll pull a Steven Healey and I'll be here right at noon.
All right.
But you know, so 9 to noon. So, but Twitch is a different animal too. It'll be a 3-hour show, right? 3-hour broadcast.
Yeah. Possibly.
Then there's not a lot of at least the world that I'm in on Twitch, there's not a lot of that talk show thing going on at that time of day. So that's another, and it works good with my schedule.
Well, that's another thing. You've got to be good with doing it. If you're doing it at a time which isn't suitable for you, then you're never going to continue and do it regularly. Yeah, it's got to be a time that suits you and suits your current schedule. And you just got to keep plodding. Just a reminder to everybody who's watching, thank you for watching. If you're watching on the live video hub, say hello, and you've got a link to join us on TVSN. If you're watching on BLive 5, say hello, and you get a link to join us on TVSN. If you do that, we can see your comments. But it just takes one person to make a difference whilst watching you live, and that's job done.
Well, I've always said it's not who you know, it's who you don't know.
Well, true. We don't know who watches the shows.
Or to be not directly who I know, but maybe who Kelly knows, and then I get to know them through him. Or again, it's all about relationships. Not all, but a lot of it is to do with relationships. And there's a reason why Alfredo comes back every week, and Kelly and everybody else who's watching. They know we're here, right?
That's true.
I wonder if Kelly has it like scheduled like in his calendar phone or something. And do you have a little reminder that goes ding, 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 go watch David and Steven? I do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's for.
I need to do that.
Boy, oh boy.
Right. No, I mean, the thing is that because we're actually hosting the show, if we forget, then somebody's going to remind us before time. Right. Okay. And now, a heads up, if you're watching us today, you're watching us on BLive.tv. Interesting things are going to happen. We can't tell you what they are. Just can tell you that we've got some fascinating times ahead. Now is the time to be involved in live video. And there are 4 more shows this week, all at 10 a.m. Eastern, all on the live video hub page. Tune in at 10 a.m. and prepare to be amazed, as somebody said. I'm looking forward to watching the shows from the producer's seat. And we've got some very talented people. I'm particularly, and David, you may not know this, When Lottie said, I want to do the camera confidence show, now Lottie's been doing camera confidence for the last 12 years on television and around the world, as we know. And she's got the book, and I'm reading the book. But she wanted to bring us on. She hinted that it'd be good to, she named us and said we should be on the show. So I have no idea what she's planning. So join us at Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern to find out what Lottie's up to.
Well,
I don't know.
And I guess, well, I should tell you, and I it's my own scheduling fault, but I'll make it work. I'm actually going to be I'm going to London,
Ontario.
London, Ontario, which is about 45 minutes from me. I'm involved in the tour with Tourism Sarnia Lambton here.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of us. There's a conference,
Right.
2-day conference down in London, starting tomorrow, which I unfortunately can't make, but I'm going to be there on the Wednesday.
Mhm.
It starts early in the morning, so I'm actually going to be stepping out of from wherever I'm at to join the show for at least the first half an hour. Just a heads up.
That's good.
Will that work?
Because you joined us from the radio station last time.
Yeah, that's right. So
we're getting a tour of Toronto.
So just a heads up. So that I should be able to make the whole thing, but I don't know what the surroundings are going to be like, and I'll be joining from mobile phone, so I'll make it work. I have lots of, so that's not a problem. But and that'll give you a different perspective, and then actually next Monday I'm working at the radio station.
Yes.
Till June. So that means.
Well, do you want me to host and you come in on mobile?
I'd like you to host next week. I'll be there.
Yeah.
It only takes me 10 minutes, 15 on a busy day to get home. So I'll join you. I could do it from the radio station, but there'll be a lot of distractions. So I'll just drive.
Okay.
Home. It's all good.
Okay. I'll start the show and then we'll carry on until you arrive. And we're doing okay. We're doing good for time. As I've got a town hall meeting tonight. So
okay, all right. Well, let's talk about chess for a minute. Now that Alfredo's gone, although I think he's probably walking around carrying us around in his pocket or something. But
okay.
And I'm not looking to be a master chess player. I suck at it. I don't like how do you become a decent chess player? And I know practice, but what's the thought process? Do I need to be 2 moves ahead of you, or 5 or 20, or what's the deal?
First you need to know how the pieces move, and that goes for both of us.
I
mean, that's it. Basically, I'm at schoolboy level. I mean, I played chess seriously. I was in chess club many years ago, and I enjoy playing chess. I think what you've got to do is you've got to play chess against, first of all, just to get back in the groove, is to play chess against people who are not as good as you, just to get back in, and right. Then I'd be sorely tempted to join James on Twitch and just challenge him to a game, because he's since we first met him, he's gone. I'll send you the link after. He's gone from strength to strength. He's become an affiliate. He's got fans. He's got a regular show on Twitch, and he's gone from zero to being established as a chess player on Twitch.
Really?
And he's a good guy to know. He basically, as far as his chess goes, he plays tournament chess, and he travels around the US to different tournaments. So he's actually bona fide chess player. And I would say that playing him is the best way to learn, because if you make a bad move, he will tell you. He won't let you have the move back, but he will tell you.
Just James Gaming?
Sorry?
Just James Gaming? Is that it? No.
I don't know. Just a second. Excuse us. We're just going to do a bit of Googling.
Yeah.
Because this is live, and I'll get the link now so that everybody knows. Okay, and I'm searching for him now.
because that's something. I mean, with what I'm going to do on Twitch, it's Twitch talk. We're going to talk about stuff. We're going to share videos, and we'll play some video games once in a while. And chess is, I can handle chess. I mean, I'm not going to play it as much as Alfredo would probably like me to, but
right, okay. So everybody knows what we're talking about. I'm just posting the gentleman's name and his link in the team chat. James Harrison is the guy to go and check out on Twitch. I'm not sure what his Twitch handle is, but you should be able to find him from that. And he says on it, right, how much does being a Twitch affiliate mean? Okay, and I'll tell you exactly how much it means. If you go to James's page, it says works at Twitch affiliate. Now, that's magical. So he made his affiliate, and he does have subscribers, and he's a good guy.
How old is he?
A good question. 30s?
20s?
20s, 30s.
Okay, so this isn't the guy I'm looking for then.
Well, I've put a link in. Oh, right, you're trying to find his Twitch account. We could be a while, folks. In the meantime, don't forget to join us 10 a.m. Eastern, Tuesday through Friday, and you'll see everybody involved in the 5 days live team. And we'd love to see you there, and to take your comments and your questions, and to share the joys of live video. You found him?
Well, actually, Kelly did, and
Kelly's a sleuth, super sleuth.
Thank you, Kelly. So he's got 447 followers.
When we knew him, when I first came across him, he had less than 50.
Is that right? Hey?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So he's a Twitch success story and a genuine chess player and a genuine bloke. Alfredo introduced me to him.
Oh, okay.
So, he's good.
I'm 390 now.
Brilliant.
390 followers, and that is genuine followers.
Yep.
Genuine followers.
None of these follow things.
Yeah. No,
it's not good.
And well, relationships, right? It all comes, there it is again, that word, relationships and impact. And depending on what time of day, but people from all over the world are popping in. It's not just my local. In fact, the majority of the people in my stream are probably, other than some of my students, and Kelly, there's not really any local followers from Facebook there. It's a whole new community, a whole new world. Okay, I won't do it.
Right, I was asked the other day. This is a true question. Can you name or give us a list of 5 people who are actually using Be Live on Twitch?
Can I?
Well, can you?
Well, me. Does that count?
1.
Well, you.
2. Struggling, aren't we?
Well, I think I know where you're going with this. I've noticed, like, when it's Twitch Tuesday or whatever they post in Be Livers, or I don't know if it's you or whoever does it, but I don't see a lot of people promoting their Twitch channel.
No.
It's different though, right? And I said this before, when I saw Twitch coming with or Be Live coming with Twitch, I'm like, some people are gonna get shocked. They're thinking, oh, it's just another place to go live. Maybe I can make it over there. Maybe I can get more viewers over there. And they were looking to, I think a lot of people went about it the wrong way, Steven.
I agree. Right. Okay. I can give you a third.
Brigetti?
No. Oh, yeah. Brigetti. Go on then. Brigetti. Yeah. Right. And the only other one I could come up with is Ros Boundy in Australia.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And she's joined me. She's a regular, not an every time regular, but she's a regular on my Twitch broadcast. We have good conversations. I like Russ. And it's especially if you have already started building a community on Facebook and that's your world, that's okay. Building a community on Twitch is different, way different than, and I think a lot of people still see it as all about video games, and it's not. But it's one of those things. There's a lot of bells and whistles going on Twitch.
Right.
Way more than Facebook.
And Kelly's saying that Cheryl is on Twitch.
Who is?
Cheryl Piper.
Oh, Cheryl. There we go. Yeah.
Cheryl. It's all right. It's my English pronunciation of the word Cheryl, which she sort of lets me off, I think. Yeah.
And I've never seen Cheryl pop up when I.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Cheryl and I. Cheryl and I took a show, which was Tips and Tools for Broadcasters, and we took it over to Twitch.
Yep.
And nobody watched us. And so you've got to adjust and think. And Cheryl said, "Let's go back to Facebook." So that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how are you finding Twitch for you?
Twitch for me, I used it today. I was live 4 times today.
Yeah.
5 times actually, because I made a mistake once. But I haven't really got to grips with it. There isn't. No, I haven't done it. In the last month, I haven't done it justice because of everything else that's been going on. But I can see myself going back there and broadcasting more. But at the moment, with the schedule the way it is, and list of things to do, I will be back there. Just don't ask me when.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at you right now. So do you have a replay on? Are you a rerun?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Well,
all right. And Kelly suggested.
I'm watching a video of you.
Yeah.
But I didn't click on it, or maybe I did.
Yeah, I put 5 videos up there today.
Yeah, but
and they're entitled Minicam to Twitch.
Why is
OBS
it play those videos all right away? Normally it goes to the channel, and if you're offline.
Yeah. I've nothing playing at the moment.
Well, I'm watching the video. It comes up right away.
That's good. It's good.
I didn't click on it. It just started playing.
What's it called?
Live with XSplit and XSplit VCam 4 hours ago.
Yep, that's it. That's the last one I did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is normally you go to somebody's channel, and if they're offline, it just shows a banner and then a video up in the corner that you can click on. But I didn't click on it. It says Steven Healey is now live.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sure you didn't start a rerun or something?
No, not consciously. Not consciously. Let's see if we can get to the root of this mystery. Otherwise, we'll leave everybody on 10 hooks for 7 days. I'm going over to my Twitch channel now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to Steven Healey and to, when it lets me. I'm going to channel now, and it says I'm offline. Yeah. Unless you're watching it. Right. Sorry, David. I do believe you. I do believe you.
Like, what's going on here? I don't know.
Right.
There's some wonky stuff happening there in Twitch land.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's a different world, right? And I do think that a lot of people had different expectations and they didn't handle it right. And it's a different opportunity. I'm doing both, but I'm doing different things on Twitch compared to Facebook. And I'm going to have some more fun on Facebook too. Like Tuesday night's going to be game night. Put it that way.
Yeah. Very good. Right. Before we go, I'd just like to say one thing, and that is now is the time to prepare for LinkedIn Live. We might not have it in Canada and the UK, but one day we will. And when that day comes, you should be prepared. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date and you've established yourself as a live streamer on LinkedIn. You've probably got a couple of months to do that at least.
Yeah. And I was thinking the other day, is that something I'm going to get into? I'm Facebook now, I'm Twitch, and I'm thinking I got to do it there too, because if I'm a business person,
Yeah.
and I am, and if I'm
Yeah.
promoting that I teach live streaming and all this other stuff that I do, got to be there. So
Got to be there, business to business.
I'm excited for it. It's just never ending.
Indeed. And it's never fails to amaze us. From Wiltshire in England, farewell.
Steven, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I'll talk to you before next Monday about next week. Thanks to all of you who's stuck around, Kelly, Alfredo, and everybody else who's been watching. Thank you. We do appreciate you. We're grateful that you take time to spend time with us. If you enjoyed the show this week, put a 10 in the comments below. If you didn't like the show, do nothing but come back and give us another chance. I'll be live again this afternoon, 3:30 this afternoon. With my local community show on Facebook, The Show with David Burrows. I hope you'll come and join me. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.